Shabbat Shalom, giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. Now, just to quote Yahushai, the children of this world in their generation is wiser than the children of light. And we know that the prophecies say that, there's no secret that they can hide from thee. Referring to Esau and how, he does deep research. He does a lot of searching out things. And he has the technology to figure out particular things that we didn't know in the past. And that's due to the Lord increasing that knowledge in the last day, as it is written in Daniel, the 12th chapter, I believe around the 4th verse, where matter of fact, let me get it real quick. This is Daniel 12 and verse 4, and it says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." So, we're at the end now, and a lot of things are being manifested. A lot of things are being discovered, found out. And, this article, it caught my attention, when I saw the headline, and I thought about, different scenarios in the scriptures, where, you've had supernatural encounters, with, certain prophets, certain men that had run-ins with angels. And this article puts into perspective of what goes on in the brain during this phenomenon. And basically, you can read it. It says, a doctor says he found rare angel pattern in people's brains that lets them see supernatural beings. We know that, we're just spirits in these bodies. We have to inhabit the terrestrial form as long as we're here on the earth. And that, that's one particular glory. All right. But the Lord can actually increase your spirit. He can turn your brain up too. You have what they call the third eye, which is it dwells right in your brain. You have what they call the pineal gland. And when it's decalcified, you have more clarity, you have more of an understanding, you have more spiritual clarity versus, when it's actually calcified. All right. You having a brain blockage. So I'm gonna just read through some of this article. And this is basically what this expert came up with. So it says a pioneer in the study of brain waves says he's discovered a unique pattern in scans among people who claim to see angels and other supernatural beings. Dr. James Hard has been training people to control their brain waves since the 1980s, but recently found an angel pattern among some individuals. The pattern depends on where elevated alpha brain waves appear. If an angel has a higher burst, if an individual has a higher burst in the center than in the back, Dr. Hart claims they have the ability. The expert said about 85% of people he has seen in his decades-long career have high levels in the back, but those in a smaller group all admitted to seeing angels. He said, I say, do you see angels? People are amazed and say to me, I've never told anybody, Dr. Hart told DailyMail.com. Dr. Hart founded the Bio-Cybernaut Institute in Arizona in 1983, running $15,000 courses where clients are put inside sealed chambers with electrodes attached to their heads and learn to control their brain waves. He said benefits of the training can appear about 6 to 12 months after, improving patients' progress, reducing guilt, and minimizing symptoms of mental illness. So I guess he deals with, all kinds of brain activity. It says Dr. Hart has done postdoctoral work in psychophysiology at the Langley Porter Neuropsychiatric Institute of the University of California at San Francisco. He has also authored or co-authored more than 60 papers and professional presentations. The training uses neurofeedback that involves placing sensors on the scalp to measure brainwave activity, providing real-time feedback to the individual. The feedback allows the person to learn how to consciously regulate their brain patterns and promote desired states like focus or relaxation. This essentially trains the brain to operate in a healthier way. So, what interested me was him basically showing examples of people who actually see more supernatural activity, the activity that goes on in their brain when they actually experience it. All right, and he calls it alpha brain waves, and he says that it's a pattern that shows up in the center of your brain, and ultimately I believe that's just the Most High tapping into, your pineal gland, your pineal gland, your third eye, to open it. And you see several examples of that in the scriptures. One of the first ones I'll bring out is dealing with Balaam. It's Numbers 22 and 21, and I'll read the NLT. So this is Numbers 22 and 21. It says, so the next morning, Balaam got up, saddled his donkey, and started off with the Moabite officials. But the Most High Power was angry that Balaam was going. So he sent the angel of the Lord to stand in the road to block his way. As Balaam and two servants were riding along, Balaam's donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword in his hand. The donkey bolted off the road into a field, but Balaam beat it and turned it back onto the road. So obviously, he didn't have those alpha waves, all right, in the center of his brain at the time. It wasn't working. The Lord didn't basically tap into his third eye, so he didn't see anything. Angels, they're more in tune. It's like your animals. They actually are more in tune. So they can really see things. You even have, nocturnal animals like cats and owls and, certain animals that have that illumination, all right, in their eyes because of that ointment. It's like an oil that they have in their eyes so that they can see in the dark. So they definitely can see spirits. They would definitely be able to see angels if an angel appeared to them. All right. It says, then the angel of the Lord stood at a place where the road narrowed between two vineyard walls. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it tried to squeeze by it and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. So Balaam beat the donkey again. Then the angel of the Lord moved further down the road and stood in a place too narrow for the donkey to get by at all. And that angel could have just been teleporting to these different places just to appear right, a short distance in front of them. While Balaam, he didn't notice anything. So the donkey was spooked out. It says this time when the donkey saw the angel, it lay down under Balaam In a fit of rage, Balaam beat the animal again with his staff. Then the Lord gave the donkey the ability to speak. And we ain't never seen nothing like that. You know, you'll have unbelievers that'll think that this is a fairy tale when they read this. You know, just limiting the power of the Heavenly Father, man. You know, nothing is impossible with him. It says, "What have I done to you that deserves your beating me 3 times?" It asked Balaam. "You have made me look like a fool," Balaam shouted. "If I had a sword with me, I would kill you. But I am the same donkey you have ridden all your life." The donkey answered, "Have I ever done anything like this before?" "No," Balaam admitted. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes. So I guess that's when them alpha waves started swarming in the center of his brain, right? I guess that's the scientific way of putting it, according to Esau's research. But we know the Most High just opened his eyes. So anybody that see anything supernatural, all right, like sometimes we'll look up and we'll catch a chariot. You know, a brother might do it, or brothers, or the whole camp might end up seeing it. You looking up and you knowing what you looking at, but people that is passing by, they looking up and they trying to figure out what it is that we're looking at. And they sometimes they think that we crazy. You know, the Lord he'll open our eyes, and that's just so that we can, you know, see the Lord's presence, you know, through his messengers, you know, that comes by every now and then. You know, they always visiting the camps. So it says the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the roadway with a drawn sword in his hand. Balaam bowed his head and fell face down on the ground before him. So he knew what it was. As soon as the Lord opened up his third eye, he knew what it was. And he fell with fear straight on his face, which anybody would do. Any person in their right mind would do if they encountered an angel and saw him face to face. You know, there's certain scriptures that describe them as having a terrible countenance. So you definitely be fearful just looking at them. All right. You know, when you look up the word eyes in the Hebrew, the word is ayan. And it says the eye of physical eye as showing mental qualities, 3 of mental and spiritual faculties. All right, because that's basically where your spirit dwells in your mind, and basically in your brain. And your eyes happen to be right there adjacent to your brain. They say the eyes is the window to the soul. So, yeah, the Lord can actually open it up, or he can shut it. He can turn your brain up, or he can turn it down. So, you know, I wonder, has he ever did any research or put them through these type of tests when a person is going through a dream, like when you're having a vision or something? I'm pretty sure maybe, you know, we don't know, but I'm sure there's activity going on in your brain when you're having a vision, you know, whether your eyes are closed or wide open. The Lord can put you in a trance and have you seeing, you know, things 3D, like the prophets did. He said that he would multiply their visions and they would dream dreams. He would appear and visit them in their dreams and in their visions. That's how the Lord would speak through the prophets. So I'm pretty sure there was a lot of brain activity, you know, going on when these prophets was having these visions and dreams. All right. So I thought that was you know, very interesting. You know, this was one of the things that I thought about when the Lord opened up Balaam's eyes to see that angel. All right. So let's go from there. Y'all could read the rest of the story, but this is the point that I want to get. So let's go to 2 Kings 6th chapter, and I'm going to start at 14th verse. And it says, so one night, the king of Aram, the king of Syria, sent a great army with many chariots and horses to surround the city. When the servant of the man of the Most High got up early the next morning and went outside, there were troops, horses, and chariots everywhere. "Oh, sir, what will we do now?" the young man cried to Elisha. "Don't be afraid," Elisha told him. Just like Elijah told Elisha, right? "For there are more on our side than on theirs." And it, Elisha's frequency was at an all-time high. All right, he was on a high level because the Lord, raised him up to be a prophet, which he was a protege to Elijah, who was also, he was on a high level, very high frequency, man. Okay, had a lot of spiritual activity going on with these men because they were prophets. Prophets have a special place, with the Heavenly Father. They were all preordained by the Most High. So it's going to be more spiritual activity with those men. And that's the lot that, they're placed in. It says, then Elisha prayed, "O Yahweh, open his eyes and let him see." Spin those them alpha waves to the center of his brain, so he can really see that we ain't alone, we ain't by ourselves. The Lord opened the young man's eyes, and when he looked up, he saw that the hillside around Elisha was filled with horses and chariots of fire. And they had to comfort him. They had to have comforted him. It's like the scriptures say in Psalms 34, the angels encamp around about those that fear him. And that's what I believe the Lord does when he sends every now and then. He'll send a chariot or a few chariots above our camps, just to make his presence known so that, we're comforted, when we're out there. All right. And it strengthens our courage. And, yeah. That's all on behalf of those whose hearts is pure with the Lord. That's why he does these type of things. So anyway, let's go from there. Let's deal with King David. Let me see. Okay, hold up. I don't know if this is the account. I know he did have an encounter with an angel, but let me see. All right, here we go. Yep. So this is the account. 1 Chronicles 21, and this was after he numbered Israel. He went completely off. Satan hopped on him to do that. All right. And then the angel came down and was, taking out a lot of Israelites, because that was the penalty for what David did. So this is 1 Chronicles 21 and 13. It says, "And David said unto Gad, I am in great strait. Let me fall now into the hand of the Lord, for very great are his mercies, but let me not fall into the hand of man." So the Lord sent pestilence upon Israel, and there fell of Israel 70,000 men. And the Most High Power sent an angel unto Jerusalem to destroy it. And as he was destroying, the Lord beheld, and he repented him of the evil, and he said to the angel that destroyed, "It is enough," showing that the angels, they're under the Most High's control. "Stay now thine hand." And the angel of the Lord stood by the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. And David lifted up his eyes, basically his third eye, and saw the angel of the Lord standing between the earth and the heaven, having a drawn sword in his hand stretched out over Jerusalem. Then David and the elders of Israel, who were clothed in sackcloth, fell upon their faces. So, these are different instances, where they was able to actually see the angels. Sometimes they can appear to the naked eye and sometimes they don't. All right. They can cloak themselves where you can't see them, and then they can appear and the Lord can open up your pineal gland, your third eye. All right. Stir up them alpha waves so that you can actually see. And it's always done with a purpose. All right. And see, we don't really need this science to prove any of this. And that's basically what faith is in a nutshell. The things, substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You know what I mean? So we really don't even need this evidence, but it goes to show you Esau, he has to test everything out because he's a carnal man. He needs the evidence. Otherwise, he would not believe it either. But it's definitely a real thing. Or whether you see it in person or whether you see it in a dream. So, there's other examples I can show, but I want to show those three, So, very interesting nevertheless, and it's always edifying, these type of topics. But Esau, he's constantly digging and searching, just like they're searching out the angels in the heavens, the chariots. They still trying to figure them out, and I laugh every time they, do a little news segment and they try to explain what they are and how they see them move, but they just can't quite pinpoint, their significance and, their technology and all that. It ain't meant for you to understand. Esau, he'd be over curious at times. And it's just certain things that you can't find out. If the Lord doesn't make it known, you're not going to know. Let me get, was that Ecclesiastes 8:17? And it says, Then I beheld all the work of the Most High, that a man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun, because though a man labor to seek it out, yet he shall not find it. Yet further, though a wise man think to know it, yet shall he not be able to find it. So it's just certain things the Lord, he keeps hidden, from the masses, from everyday ordinary people. But he also said he would do nothing but reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So, yeah. So I'm gonna end the lesson right there. I wasn't gonna make this a long video, but I hope this was an edifying lesson, and hopefully y'all were edified. I'm gonna give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and until the next one, Shalom.